Hello, last turn enthusiasts. I am Petty, you are you, and we are here together today to talk about the new list that I promised I would cook up for you. This is the list. This list is crazy. It is potentially the most aggro deck I have ever played ever. It is incredible, it is everything I want, and I love it. That being said, I just built it today, and I've only done a couple of test matches, and so we're still kind of we're looking for improvements. We're a little bit shaky on it, maybe. But let's go ahead and talk through this sort of vision. So, if you guys have followed me through the other seasons of the channel, you'll know that I love to throw Monster Gate and Reasoning, but mostly Monster Gate, into decks that typically don't use those cards. I think there's a lot of potential here in GOAT format to involve both of those more into other strategies because being able to special summon a kind of a random monster from your deck at any point is really, really good. It's just like a great effect. It would be broken in any other like later format, and so it's always something that kind of catches my eye. And so I'm thinking about the best way to bring that back into the challenge. And I think that when we were using it before, we were perhaps too focused on last turn and less focused on the OTK aspect. But I think that we can use last turn as like an auxiliary point where you'll win a lot of games through it, but like the main kind of idea is that last turn as a 2 of is actually just more copies of all the other cards. And so let's talk. So I have 3 Cyberstein, 2 Jaugen, and then a DMOC. I'm running it at those ratios. I don't know how I feel about that, and you guys can let me know how you feel, but I do it 3-2-1 for reasoning so that whenever somebody calls, let's say that we haven't seen any monsters yet and I play reasoning, if they call 2 because they know we're on a Cyberstein strategy, then we have a 50-50 chance to get another card. That's kind of where I'm at. Jaugen's like obviously the worst card to get off of either Reasoning or Monster Gate, but a lot of times like if you're already set up for last turn, obviously either of these monsters works out really well. We might bring Jaugen down to 1 at some point. It's entirely possible, but then it's also reasonable that we can get out of Stein range pretty early in a game, and last turn's like our only win con at that point, basically. There's always like the random Megamorph onto a Mon. I'm realizing we're not playing Snatch Steal. I'm realizing we're not playing Snatch Steal. Maybe we cut the Jaugen for Snatch Steal. You know what? You know what? We're gonna cut the Jaugen for Snatch Steal. Where does Snatch feel like it should go? I feel like here? Maybe? That kind of ruins the whole organization of the deck, and I hate that. But, so yeah, maybe this is what we're doing. Yeah, I like overall, I like, this is a Stein deck. It's obviously a Stein deck, and Stein can either get our friend Master of Oz, you can get Gatling Dragon, it can get Last Warrior. And so Stein kind of support, it's a more versatile card than Jaugen, and so maybe Jaugen should only be at 1. I don't know. We have Goaters. Just like the previous version of the deck, we want to use Goats to meaningfully modulate how many life points we have left to get us into last turn range. But then also it's a great card for Monster Gate. It's also a great card for United We Stand, and so it's quite good. It's also a great card for Enemy Controller. This card has been really overperforming in my estimation. Like, I've kind of wanted to get it at 3. I really kind of wanted to have it at 3. And maybe we'll get there at some point. It's great because you can use it to protect yourself. You can use it to put on more damage. You can, by getting through an opponent's monster, by taking it, you can do so much. You can proc Last Will, which we aren't playing in this deck, but we definitely could in the future. I don't know. We have the Reasoning Gates, full package. We have Swords because we're playing 3 Trinade and we want some time to draw cards. Playing Heavy because Cub made fun of me. He saw the deck and he made fun of me that Heavy was in the side, and I brought it in to make him happy. So, Snatch Steal. 3 Megamorph. We're playing 3 Megamorph, 1 United We Stand to pair with Scapegoat. and Stein. 3 Wild Nature's Release. So Wild Nature's Release gets a Master of Oz up to 7,900 attack, and then with Cyberstein, you have 86, which is pretty good. And so it's not always the case that you'll be able to hit in with both those monsters. In fact, it's pretty like seldom that you're able to do that. But there's other ways we can put damage on board, and also enemy controller can kind of help us out with that. And so Wild Nature's Release, I learned that you can use it more than once. You can, if you have 2 in hand, they can stack, similar to limiter removal. And so I think that's great. It's a lot more powerful of a card individually, I think, than something like Megamorph, because Megamorphs, it's one and done. If you have more than 1 in hand, that's actually quite bad. But also we don't want to see, like, this is more specific, like you have to have Stein. We could play a really spicy beast in deck, and I might, maybe I'll go look at that to see if we can replace Jaugen. I don't know. Graceful Charity, Pot of Greed, 2 last turn, because we can only play 2. 3 Solemn. I'm not sure how I feel about the Solemns. We fit it in the deck, and that feels nice, and there's a lot of times where you can win. Like, you don't have to worry about the back row, because they'll have 1 back row, and you'll have Solemn, and it's like nothing they can do at this point will matter, and so that feels great. I found a way to bring Wall back in. Wall's great, it bides us time. There's a really great interaction with last turn Wall and Cyberstein, which is that you can pay 2,000 life points, block almost everything in the format, then use Cyberstein to pay down 5,000, so you're at 1 exactly. And I think that's really neat. Ring, because Ring is one of the most important cards in any Reason Engage strategy. You can fight me. Alright, so for the side, I wanted something fun. And so we're going really, really hard on the OTK Stein strategy, and so I'm like, what other decks play OTK Stein strategy? Machine Gate. So we can play 3 more limiter removal, which brings up our total OTK spell cards to 10. 1/4 of the deck. Megamorph, United We Stand, Wild Nature's Release, and then 3 limiter removal. We can bring in these cards, which adds diversity of stars for Reasoning and Monster Gate, I guess Reasoning, which is nice. Jinzo, I think, is especially great because we'll probably bring that in when we take last turn out, take the walls out, and so we won't have that many traps, and so we can turn traps off, and they think that we are a trap deck, and so we can take advantage of that even more. I have Token Thanksgiving in this case because in Machine Gate you don't necessarily care about how many life points you have, and being able to activate Stein twice is like crazy, and so we have that for for pro Machine Gate, anti-burn, anti-control, and so we can bring those guys in. Obviously that conflicts with last turn, but you can kind of work your way around it anyway. Pre-mat will go in with Machine Gate. Apart from that, we have some Floodgates because we are playing lots of Trinades, and so if we're playing an aggro deck, we can bring in Floodgates, including Mirror Force, and then Brain Control. I played a few practice matches, and one particularly bad monster is King Tiger Wang Hu. It's very hard to play around that card. I found out, though, that Wild Nature's Release, you can activate it targeting your opponent's monster. And so Wild Nature's Release can trade 1-for-1 for King Tiger, which I think is really great, actually. It's a good trade. It's pretty, like, slow, because you activate it and you have to wait until the end phase for it to be destroyed, but I'm realizing now it's Berserk Gorilla in the picture, but Berserk Gorilla's defense is 0. It doesn't get any stronger. It's kind of weird. Alright, so I'm gonna save. Let's hit the ladder. You guys like the new deck? Is this how you're feeling? You're like, we're going into the end of the season with Strong Psyduck. Strony. Strony owned us. Strony had our number. We're at 609 yellow. Strony has 41 cards in his main deck. Our opening hand is interesting. Pot of Greed. Stanley. Pot of Greed sleeves. Pot of Greed card. Giant rat. Okay. Jaugen the Spiritualist. Okay, so I think we're kind of gearing up for a... a last turn kill. So I think that we will set Solemn. Can we kill? Let's say we True Nade. Let's say we True Nade, and then we activate. Activate Cyberstein. We can Wild Nature's Release, attack into it. We'll take 21. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go for it. I think we can win this turn if we get Cyberstein. If we get Cyberstein off this reasoning. Which is a 3/4 chance, assuming they don't call 2. Called 7. So we're gonna get something no matter what. We got the Steinzers. Okay, so we can pay 5. I keep forgetting that you can't do what I think you can do. You cannot do what I think you can do. I keep forgetting. Like, you can't attack Cyberstein because he needs to activate his effect. Big think. So, okay, I can pay. I pay and I attack. It gets over and he can't summon anything, which is pretty good. I can summon Jaugen. Okay. He go to 28. I'll take 26. Yes, that'll work, right? I can summon Jaugen. All right, let's break open the calculator. Let's break it open the calculator. All right, so 8,000. Let's do 28 minus 2 plus 5,000. 76. Okay, we're good. We're good. All right. Summon the guy. He's got to be like, what the heck is going on? So I take 2650. I'm just going to activate last turn in the... No, I guess I can wait. And we have a Solemn, and so there's basically nothing you can do. That was pretty cool. That's the sort of thing that you can do with this deck, which I think is nice. I am pretty little brain though, in terms of like I always think that you can't. Like I'm always like, you can summon the Last Warrior and then use Stein to attack, but no, Last Warrior kills Cyberstein. It's like, of course you can't do that. Send the Solemn. Shows him I have Solemn, but technically he's entitled to that information. Maybe Strony has never played against a last turn before. Okay, so we're playing against a giant rat deck, which means that we're gonna have some aggro. We're gonna have some aggro. Do I want to take last turn out since he saw it? And he set like a ton of cards. Do I want to take last turn out because he saw it? I think no. I think we'll bring in Mirror Force though. Over a Solemn? Mirror Force over a Solemn maybe? I like the Brain Control. Over another Solemn. Anything else? Bring in an L-Lab. An L-Lab. That was a pretty cool win, right? Were you guys like screaming at your television set, like an old person? Were you screaming? Jaugen the Spiritualist plus Wall of Revealing Light is not bad. Okay, we could reasoning into Cyberstein, which is some like he probably will call too, and like I want to know what number he'll call. I want to know that information. Like I can almost kill him. In fact, I can kill him if I get the reasoning right. So I think assuming that this is nothing, which it could be, I think I'm gonna go for it because I can kill him if I can get this. So we'll see. He's calling a 2. All right, so we almost certainly are gonna get owned here. Oh my gosh, never punished. I think I want the scapegoat. I want the scapegoat. We got really lucky. We got really lucky. Wow, that's not bad. I think we'll set scapegoat. Pass. That was really lucky, guys. That was the only not 2, and that. Ooh, that's fine. You may have him. Aha! Cool. He's not going to attack. That is why. Alright, so this is definitely aggro, but we don't mind that. Oh, I just got a text. Sorry, guys. 1,000 life points. Okay. So, we can snatch steal our own Demock back if we want. Huh. I think that's good. I think we should do that. It puts pressure on him. He'll gain life points, but so will we. Do I want to set the wall? I don't think so. Do I want to need defense, though? Do I want defense? Could activate LLab. No, I'm gonna set enemy controller. He has 1 card set, and so I don't feel uncomfortable setting 1. Demock is just like a really good card to have up. We can activate LLab whenever we want, which... Oh, okay. Do I want to let him do that? I think the answer is no. I think the answer is no. Okay. Yeah, we outgrinded him a little bit. Strony's like, there's no way out of here. Scapegoat would have been a great draw because we would have lost his enemy controller, but we would have had this extra card to set, and so we would have been able to draw like a ton of cards. Megamorph would have been great. Graceful Charity's drawing us into Cyberstein. We got our last turn off for Graceful Charity, yeah. And so he was almost certainly dead. To be honest, I don't see him killing us in the next few turns. He had like so few cards. I think our matchup against Earth Aggro is probably pretty good, though. To be fair, we got really lucky off this Demock pull off of reasoning. 6, 2, 8 low. Schlaboingo. Earth Aggro. Schlaboingo. Did you guys like in the first duel? Did you guys like how I used Wild Nature's Release? Were you very impressed by that? I was very impressed by myself. Dropin. Dropin also has our number. Just like Strony, Dropin also understands how rock, paper, scissors works. Only 40 cards though, and that appears as if it is a full extra deck. This opening hand is pretty fine. It is pretty fine. Defense mode, huh? Okay. Pot of Greed. Alright, we want last turn and Jowgen. Those are not the cards I was looking for. However, I would not complain. I will not complain. Because Monster Gate will get us into something very nice. I want to activate Scapegoat. I don't think I do. We're just going to pass. Another Megamorph. Gross. I think we might as well set one wall, set Solemn, and pass. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, obviously that throws a spanner in the works, but we are an OTK strategy, and so he might not see that coming. We have two Megamorph and Wild Nature's Release, and so if we can get Cyberstein, our guy is going to be huge. Hit our Solemn. What is he doing here? What kind of deck are we facing? Ah, he wants the MST back. Yeah, that makes sense. We don't care about any of our cards face down. He's missing them, though. He's missing the one he would maybe like to know about. That should tell him some stuff about the deck. Ooh. Yeah, we'll take it all. Oh, I'm dumb. No, I'm not. Monster Gate's fine. We can... Yes. I forget that you do, in fact, tribute a Scapegoat for Monster Gate. So we are hoping for anything but Demock, and by anything... Oh, there's Jowgen in the deck. Jowgen can get over Fing, though. Jowgen can get over Fing. Cyberstein, huh? Alright, boink. Alright, so luckily, we don't even have to use Wild Nature's Release. Oh, thank you, sir. We don't even have to use Wild Nature's Release. Gross. It's fine. We will kill the Fing. Enemy controller. Defense. It's fine. Okay, well that's going to be a kind of a pain in the butt. Because now he knows our game. I guess we could have predicted that he would have two spells down because he knew that like they weren't going to be traps, but I was kind of assuming that they would be something like defensive, like Scapegoat, for example. I wonder what kind of banish deck we're playing. I wonder what kind of banish deck we're playing. Enemy controller and Book of Moon. Different dimension gate, okay. Wow. Okay, so we have to figure out a way to get that back. Reasoning is not really gonna help us. I think we just pass. That's a really cool card. We just pass. I think we just pass. Reasoning could get us into Demock, but it could also get us into either Cyberstein or Jowgen, and we don't want those cards. We can still, with this wall, if we ever draw last turn... Viewing extra deck. Why are we viewing the extra deck for? The Fing is very fun. The Fing is very good. Did you guys miss the Fing? It's been a while since I've talked about the Fing on this channel. I worry that you guys think that I don't like the Fing anymore, but that's not true. I do. I do like the Fing. So yeah, kind of like all gas. All gas, no not gas. I think we are probably going to want to switch to Machine Gate and take the last turn package out and put Machine Gate in because they're playing Decree, and so we wanted to get rid of all of our traps. And we're just going to play like a straight up super duper beatdown deck. Though they have a whole bunch of like battle interrupters. Like Book of Moon is another card that's just like crazy good against last turn. Snatch? Oh, he's gonna take the boy. Okay, that's fine. Gonna take the boy. Okay. If he normal summons, he can hit me with anything and he wins, right? Oh. He just needs a normal summon, he wins, right? Any normal summon havers? Dropin, please don't slow roll me. If you have a normal summon, you definitely win. I got destroyed at a GGP in Atlanta because I pro set. Oh, he wins that way. That's pretty smart. That's 35 damage. Yep. That's pretty smart. I got destroyed it at a GGP in Atlanta because I pro set my Cyberstein and somebody mind controlled it and then flipped it up and used it and beat me immediately. It was pretty painful. I had a hard time with that. All right, we're playing no traps anymore. Jinzo's kind of sus because like we also know they probably aren't playing traps and they're playing a whole bunch of like stuff that's not friendly to me. But I think this is gonna be fine. That was a pretty cool interaction though. He did the whole snatch steal turn of monster to attack mode, use grenade. And with the GG, that was a GG actually. Was a GG. Alright, we'll throw it on Scapegoat. This opening hand is very good. This opening hand is very good. Do I want to use Scapegoat here? I think so. Snatch steal, huh? Okay. There's a couple of different cards we can get off of this monster gate. Let's see what we got. A bunch of spells. We're not going to get Demock, unfortunately. Blowback Dragon's nice. How many heads is? Tails. One heads is. Two heads is. The orb. Okay. Well. Battle phase. Defense mode. I wonder if he has a monster. I wonder if he has a monster that can get over Blowback Dragon. There's a monster that can get over. Oh. Sure. Then he's gonna come back. That's fine. Kinda wish he did damage to me. Okay, Another Megamorph. By main phase. Okay. So, what kind of spells can we get? Because we can actually double tribute for Demok. We can get Demok United We Stand, which would do not enough to kill. Demok into Monster Gate could be pretty good. I didn't take a Jowgen out. Which is pretty bad, actually. So I can also Cyberstein. That won't kill him though, right? When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard. Okay. Big think. Okay, so no, it has to be destroyed. So Giant Trinade's actually really, really bad. Giant Trinade's actually really, really bad. I could just wait one turn. I could wait one turn for him to clear some of the goats out. Yeah, we'll wait one turn. He's not going to kill us. Tribe is the punish here. Drawing Potagreed makes me... Don't you guys feel like whenever you make like a sussy kind of like, oh? That's crazy. Well, we have Cyberstein. So we can out this guy. Is there any way to out it that's just like good? We can get... Alright, so let's do the math. 84 minus 18. Is that exact lethal? But it won't be because we have too many life points. But we can attack. Oh, you guys are gonna go crazy. You guys are gonna go crazy here. Oh, we can't because I can't activate Megamorph. All right, so what do I want to do here? I can't activate Megamorph. I'm so dumb. I was gonna do something like a big booty play with attack a token into the thing and then benefit from the Megamorph, but that's like the basic problem is that we can't do that. I guess we get Master of Oz still. Maybe? Could get King Dragoon. I think it's probably King Dragoon. Or I can get Gatling Dragon. We'll get Gatling Dragon. I think King Dragoon's probably the play, but if I get heads... Okay, one heads. One heads is. No heads is. Two heads is. And then I think I'll send Cyberstein to grave. I don't want anything in attack mode. Okay. Graceful Charity. Monster Gate is what we wanted. There's also Reasoning. Okay. What do we not need here? We don't want to show him Demok. For sure. We're going to hold on to Demok. We're not going to need Wild Nature's Release. And I don't think we need True Date because we're going to try to win this turn. Activate Reasoning. See what he has to say. Seven. Okay. Interesting one. The Jins. I think the Jins is going to do it for us here. 48 will go down to 32, which is just enough. Very nice. He didn't see that we had lethal, but I don't think he needed to see so much. All right, so he has the Spell Canceller. And so he's got spells and traps kind of locked down. I think that we do need this Mirror Force. I think that maybe bring the Psalms back in. Let's get rid of that Jowgen. That was an oversight. I think maybe that's an overreaction to bring all the Psalms in. I like the swords a lot. What felt not as good? Maybe these enemy controllers. No, I like to turn them into attack mode. And with the GG, that was GG too. Yeah, I like these enemy controllers now that I'm thinking about it. Turn his big defense monsters to attack. Feels good. Maybe one Wild Nature's Release. That'll do. I maybe should have brought in more Solemns. I don't know. I like these cards. Jowgen the Spiritualist, okay. That's fine. Okay. I guess I will swords. I'll set this because we have to get rid of Jowgen anyway. This is Decree, okay. That would be pretty not nice. We will wait to use the Giant Trunade to get this card away. There we stand. Nice addition to the portfolio of cards. I'm really interested to see what their strategy is. Alright, so we theoretically should Trunade this turn. 3 limiter removals. Wow. We should theoretically Trunade this turn. I think we have to. See if this gets a response. Okay, did not. Alright, I think I am going to have to ring the Jowgen in the end phase, just in case that is the decree. And we do have to get rid of Jowgen at some point. He has so many cards now. Jeez. Okay. We don't love face down monsters. We're definitely going to ring this guy. Why is he back? Oh, okay. That's fine. Let's hope that we draw a monster. That's a monster. I wish I had my Trunade. Yeah. We are going to get our friend Gatling Dragon. Let's hope to get some headses. 1 headses. 2 headses. 3 headses. Oh. Okay. Obviously we win if we attack and we get through, so let's just attack and get through. Okay. Set. Main phase 2. We'll set this too. Just in case they can remove the swords with spot removal. That was pretty conservative of them, because they could have just taken the hit. But I guess they want to preserve their life points. Ooh. Okay. Exile Force? That'll do it. That will do it. hurting for monsters here. Wouldn't say our position's very good. Yep. Token Thanksgiving. Wow. Pro set Token Thanksgiving. That's crazy. Yeah. Basically, any normal summonable monster goes like absolutely ham here. Like even Cyberstein. If I get Cyberstein, I think I win, probably. I just have to order the hits correctly. Premature burial. That will do it. I just have to make sure I understand how it works. 800. Alright, so we want to Megamorph first. 14. Then United We Stand. Goes to 22. Limiter. 44. Limiter. 88. 17,600. Oh my god, I think this has to be the thumbnail. I think this has to be the thumbnail. I think it has to be. I think we'll just we'll do this. We'll move that one there, that one there. We'll get rid of that guy because this is gonna be the thumbnail. I'm gonna take a little snip while we're recording because it's so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Okay, I took a snip. It looks it is everything I want. You guys didn't think I'd win that one, did you? You guys lost faith. I can tell. I can tell you lost faith. 42 ELO ahead of the last season. Yeah, guys, this next match is match 90. We might actually hit 100 this season. This season might actually hit 100. It's 42 minutes. We can play one more. Come on. We can fit one more. Look, this bay leaf represents you thinking that I was not going to play a third match. This is you, and you were like, that's not fair. We have an agreement. You usually play 3. Method Moses. Method Moses is not as good at RPS as his 2 predecessors. Just kidding. He's just as good. 40 cards, 15 cards, everything checks out. Everyone's using the Pot of Greed sleeves. We have half of the combo. We just need the 2 of in the deck. Giant Trinade's nice. Slash Seal's nice. Let's see what we're working with here. Not a whole lot of defense. On agree with the Pot of Greed sleeves. What am I meant to do? I don't like that the Pot of Greed sleeves are like more bright than the real Pot of Greed background. Like the background of the sleeves is like saturated and kind of like it's glowing behind the pot, but that's not how pot looks. I think it would look cooler if it weren't glowing. It had more blue, because like you guys can see on the left side of the screen down here that there's a lot of blue in the background of Pot of Greed. Oh. There's a lot of blue. And with the Graceful Charity. There's my last turn. There's my last turn. Okay. I don't think we need Snatch Steal, and we probably don't need Wild Nature's Release. I don't know if I want to show him that I'm on Reasoning. I don't think I do. I'm gonna wait to see how long we can get away with holding this Jowgen. They say you should wait till like the end phase. I could just smack it now, and depending on his deck, he could just lose. But we'll see. He's big dinking in the draw phase. Big dinking. You have 7 cards to make this work. Can you out my guy? If you can, that's pretty good. If you can out him, that's pretty good. Spy is fine. Spy is fine. If he attacks me, I think I'm going to enemy controller him to defense mode. I'm not even going to use the wall. So we're waiting to the end phase. Pretty lucky draws. Pretty lucky draws, guys. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Last turn's Ard goes so hard. You guys ever wonder about the production of the cards? Like the strategy meetings that they have about like introducing new concepts into Yu-Gi-Oh! Or new archetypes, or even like expanding upon old archetypes? Like how much of that is like driven by a committee of people versus like individuals who are like, I'm gonna champion last turn, I want to make this card, and like this card feels like somebody's an individual's idea. They're like, wouldn't it be cool if we had this kind of like 1v1 battle and whoever wins the game? But you can only do it when you're like on your last leg. Like you can't just do it at the beginning. You have to be like almost dead and then you'll do it. You know? Set all your cards. Set 5 cards. I think it was right to enemy controller there. You could argue that I should have walled, because then I would have enemy controller that if he like books the Jowgen, I could sack the Jowgen and take his spy in defense mode, which will be pretty strong. But I don't think I want him to know. Confused, he says. I understand. Confusing card. So when it resolves all the cards in field, no problem, friend. So when it resolves, all cards in hand and field will go to GY. And normally you'd get to special summon a monster deck to battle Jowgen. Since Jowgen, you summon all invite. So at this point, Jowgen, Book of Moon, for example. Normally, like Pestilence. Oh my god! LOL. Yeah. So now you send everything to GY, summon a mon, and if you can attack over Jowgen, you win. Yeah, alt GY. Yeah, Pestilence, I know if you're watching, you're going to be super mad because you're like, it's not your responsibility to teach your opponent how to play against last turn. And if I were playing like a tournament, I wouldn't. I'd be like, hey, you like I welcome you to read the card. You can ask the judge if what you want to do. You can ask the judge if you were like attempting to make a play. You gotta play like a deco. He had another Book of Moon. What are all these people playing Book of Moon? Monster has to come from deck, so Blade Knight goes to GY2. But we're playing against warriors with a spicy spy package. Chaos Warriors. So you'll be able to do it. Be able to summon something to get over this. That'll do it. That will do it. Okay. Lots of Books of Moon makes last turn. Not your normal Yugioh. Not your normal Yugioh. Alright. I like the Solemns though because I like all these cards. We're gonna side a ton of cards in and out. I think I'm gonna take one Stein out. One Wild Nature's Release out. I'm going first, and so I'm gonna leave the Solemns in. How many more cards do I need? 2? More than 2? 3? 4? Okay, we're not gonna get 4. That's crazy. Maybe the L Labs. Oh, he could bring in Decree though. I'll keep the L Labs. Now I just need 2 cards, right? Dang, 2 whole cards? Yikes. Maybe 1 less limiter removal? Seems fine. I drew too many of them last match. Way too many of them. Let's see here. I really do like the L Labs. I really do like those guys. Do 1 Megamorph? Kinda also like Megamorph though. I could cut 1 Solemn, but he's gonna play Solemns, theoretically. What to do? Maybe 1 Wild Nature's Release. So we're more likely to get a machine than we are to get the Oz. Okay, this is quite good. This is quite good. We shall not bother setting Mirror Force because I actually want him to kill one of the goats. Method Moses seems nice. I like him. The coup. We're gonna get the red ones. He probably wants to kill one, so I'm just gonna do it for him. Not agreed. Trap Dust Shoot. Nothing for you here, friendo. I got nothing. We are gonna try to kill him for sure, and so it is Strony time. I think we're gonna Reasoning without Pot of Greeting. I never know which is correct. Like, I just don't want to draw like Democ. So we'll Reasoning first. Reasoning first so that if we get Stein, we can know. 4. That is not the correct answer. The Jins. Alright, now do I want to Monster Gate first? I think I do want to Monster Gate first, again, because I just don't want to draw any monster, really. I would have drawn Graceful Charity and United We Stand, which would have been nice. Okay, well, that's just gonna do it, I think. United We Stand's pretty funny. Megamorph's actually not gonna work. I need something to lower my own life points. Oh, I can get limiter removal. No, I can't. What do I want here? I could get Monster Gate, I guess. need to lower my life points. Maybe I should have taken a hit. I wanted to get rid of a scapegoat guy. Alright, so I can steal his Kaiku. That'd be 4,200, 6,200, 7,000 life points. That's just not enough. It's probably just Monster Gate. It's probably just Monster Gate. Yeah, because I also have this Pot of Greed. Silier's nice. I think I'm still not there though. Agreed. Alright, he let us go. I don't think I killed him though. I don't think I killed him there. Oh, do we want anything? We hankering for anything? Maybe I don't want Wild Nature's Release. Maybe I just want to go full limiter removal. That makes sense to me. Some more defensive cards I think also makes sense. I'll take out one Solemn for sure. I'll take out one Megamorph. That seems fine. I shouldn't do this randomly because if I do it randomly, I'm not going to know like the ratios. Like I have no idea the Megamorph to United We Stand to Wild Nature's Release to limiter removal ratio. And like I think that keeping all those cards in is just a good idea, but I'm going to have to think about deciding more in the future. Alright, so this hand's crazy. This hand's absolutely cracked. This hand is cuckoo bonkers. It's just gotten even better. Do I want to hard activate Scapegoat here? 'Cause if he snipes it, we kind of just lose. But then if he like tribes it, we also kind of just lose. You know, I'll set it. I'll set it. Okay, we got away with it. I might take a hit here. Rhoda. Pro set Rhoda is interesting. I might take a hit here, unless this is going to be Dawn. In which case I will not take any hits. Exiled Force. Heavy Storm. Okay, he can clear a lot of these guys. That's actually kind of annoying. I kind of want maximum goats. I have all these monster... Oh, he can clear all of them. Wow. Oh. That is not the order in which you should do things. Is he realizing that? Is he realizing that? Okay. That's fine. That makes sense. That was pretty smart. Yikes. I would have liked that off of Reasoning. We are going to Reasoning here for sure. What's he going to call? Might call 8? Jinzo. 6? Okay. This guy's nice. He's calling 6. We don't have a 6 in deck, I don't believe. The Demock. Okay. What do we want? Probably Snatch Steal. Probably Snatch Steal. This Megamorph's just kind of not working out. We want Snatch Steal. Okay. I'm gonna sack for Jinzo, I think. And then sack Demock? Yes. That makes sense to me. let's get ourselves some Steins. That is a Facilier Dragon, the Dual Mo Beast. I think Stein's the only card left in deck, right? I think that's the only card left in deck, and so... I think Stein's our only option, unless I'm forgetting something. I don't believe I am. There's Cyberstein, though. Do have Books of Moon. Yeah. He called 6 though for Jinzo, and so that tells us that he's thinking of a trap. He's huge. He's huge. GG. Oh my god. The pro sad pre-mat. Oh. Oh man. Yeah, he was all monsters. All monsters. This is what the ladder experience we like. We like this ladder experience. Take care. So nice. Method Moses, so nice. YouTube. Okay, let's back out. Guys, guess how much ELO we have? Oh no, it's blank. It's blank. We don't have any ELO anymore. We don't have any ELO. Alright, it's back. Don't worry, it's back. Guess how much ELO we have, guys? Did you see? Schlablangi. 650. 650 ELO. That's not bad. That's really not bad. Well, guys, well, friends. Let's go back and take a look at the deck. I think it's good. This Gengar thinks it's good. You think it's good. I think it's really fun. I think it's the sort of deck that you take and you sack and you feel good about it. Is it as good as something like Machine Gate? No, I don't think so. But I think it has better comeback potential because you do have this last turn bit. Like, people won't see it coming. And it's one of those things that people will see the last turn, like in game 1, for example, and they'll assume that it's your main strategy. That's like what your deck is meant to facilitate, which is true. But then we can take it out. We can take all the traps out, bring in even more hyper aggression, crazy stuff where just like all of these cards meld together. You have so many different avenues of attack. You just have every card at your disposal. And like, oh, I keep coming across the point where like I'll keep dropping Megamorph, but I haven't taken any life point damage yet, which I think is actually like a good aspect of the deck, because we are not experiencing too much aggression. It is not the case that we were getting kicked out of Stein range. It's actually the opposite problem, that we haven't even gotten hit once. And I think I can use Scapegoat better. I think that part of that's a me problem. There was that game that I probably should have let the Kaiku hit me once. But then I part of the thing that I think about a lot more with Scapegoat is kind of just management of your monster zones, because you need to get rid of it. You get Stein in, and then Stein activates a card. You summon the boy, and then you're all filled. And so United We Stand is a great card in that instance because you're just taking advantage of it. But most of the time you don't. Most of the time you have too many Scapegoats. And so I don't know, it's really interesting. I really like this kind of interplay between the idea of using Stein as either a last turn enabler or like a very massive OTK thing in the main deck, and then in the side take away the OTK last turn bit and go even heavier into just the hyper aggression. I think especially when you're going first, that feels really good. We'll have to kind of figure out going second. I think there's a lot of room for mind games here. I think there's room for mind games. And at the end of the day, I think that there's only so many. If you play a deck that has incredibly powerful cards, it has stuff like Solemn Judgments and Megamorphs and Monster Gates and Cyberstein and Scapegoat, Democ, you're gonna get some games. You're gonna win a lot of the matches just by virtue of like you draw the next card and the next card is like super high quality. And so it's this balancing between trying to figure out what do I want to do in terms of the enablers, like how many cards like Reasoning do I want, against how many payoffs like Cyberstein, against how many like auxiliary helper cards that really make it sure that you win in one turn. And this deck, I think more than any other deck I've seen, leans really heavy into the like helper cards. You are never really hurting for a card that will wait in your hand until you draw the card that makes it so that this card will just win you the game. I think it's really cool. I think it's really powerful. I think it's very GOAT format. And for that reason, it excites me. This is pretty far away from the original formulation of the challenge, in which I was trying to find a more honest way to play last turn. But I think that this is the sort of thing I'm drawn towards now that I've seen that people play cheesers. And so you can't really play last turn, which is like a big attack point monster. You just can't really do that. And so shout out to Pui again. I told you guys between last episode and now that I was going to do some research into some Wild Nature's release decks. And of course, Pui on her channel, she's got some Wild Nature's release content there. She went a little bit of a different direction in her second video, I think, on last turn. There was like the button, which I've never played with. She's got the button. She was playing Last Will. She doesn't have this sort of Reasoning Monster Gate obsession that I do. And I think that potentially last turn is just more reasonable because there's more choice around what exact card you're getting, and then you can play more reasonable cards like Exiled Force and the jars, because like, you know, it would be great to play Cyber and Morphing Jar in this deck. You just kind of can't, because Reasoning and Monster Gate, you don't want those cards off those, and so you have to take kind of a hit. But I can imagine a world where we replace these 6 cards with 3 Last Wills, Exiled Force, and the 2 jars. I can see that. And so maybe we'll try that out. Maybe we'll switch away from Monster Gate and Reasoning, but I really like it. I mean, in a way, you could even just keep only Monster Gate and get rid of Reasoning, because Monster Gate can be used to proc Last Will. Yeah, so maybe we'll get rid of Reasoning. You guys are having like an aneurysm in your brain because you're like, this guy, he's going to make another deck with just Monster Gate and no Reasoning. But anyways, thank you all for hanging out with me. Let me know what you think about the deck. We're going to chillaxer with it for a few matches. We are reaching, oh, you guys, you can see me and I moved the little chart, sorry, on my end. We're reaching the end of the series. My little chart, we're hitting the rightmost boundary. I'm going to think about what that means. The kind of some like final housekeeping bits. We still don't really know when the modern ban list is going to drop. Everyone's kind of getting antsy about it, which tells me that it's likely to be soon. We know it's not going to happen until after Worlds, and I think Worlds just happened and at the time of recording late August 2025. And so I think that September probably. And so I don't know. We're going to hit the end of this. Theoretically, if we play like 3 matches at a time, we'll only have 3 more episodes. I don't know. I can sense that you guys are kind of maybe getting ready to move on to a new deck, and I think I am too. But I'm having a great time with this, and so I think we can really kind of close the series off strong. So,
thank you so much. Goodbye.